All right, where do you want to start with Lamar? How we got here, what's going on? I'll just give you the floor. Lamar Jackson, as things currently stand, the Thursday before the new league year, are?
We got here, Rich, because the Ravens have tried for more than a year, close to 2 years, to do a long-term contract with Lamar Jackson. And his base viewpoint on those conversations has always been, I'm better than all these quarterbacks. I should get more money than all of them. And that includes Deshaun Watson, who got a 5-year, $230 million fully guaranteed contract last year from the Browns. That certainly did upset some people within the league because it rewrote the economics of the NFL. But I think it is a drastic oversimplification to look at reports that several teams were not interested in pursuing Lamar Jackson and alleging collusion or worse, racism or something else, some other factors at play. When Tom Brady, 3 years ago, the greatest player of all time, became a free agent, he had 2 offers. He had the Chargers and he had the Bucks. Some other teams, the Raiders poked around on it, but ultimately he had 2 teams that put in offers for him. And obviously he chose the Bucks and went there and won a Super Bowl. He was at an older stage in his career, but there were 2 teams. Last year with Deshaun Watson, and he was facing serious allegations of sexual misconduct. It didn't stop 4 teams from pursuing him. And ultimately the Browns were told, you're out. And they got back in by saying, we will go the extra mile and give you the fully guaranteed contract. We're coming up on free agency next week. If you've got a big market as an agent, that means you've got 3, 4, 5 teams at the most.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody has all 32 teams. People say, well, why are these teams announcing that they're out? Well, first of all, you didn't see announcements. Nobody would announce it. But there are times that teams need to sculpt the environment of the fans, of the media. And in this case, with someone who is as accomplished and dynamic a player as Lamar Jackson, but in a complicated type of a situation to acquire him, if you're not in a place organizationally where you think you're going to do this, it makes sense to pour some cold water on it initially so you don't have a week's worth of speculation and media reports connecting you to the player, whatever team you're with, and then if everyone feel like it's a disappointment when you didn't land them. That's a fact of how the NFL works, which is there are some times where I or other people will get a call, hey, just so you know, we're not in on this. Everyone's saying we're in. Some doofus who's trying to make a name on Twitter reported we're in. We're not in. Just don't run with that. And I get that. And it's smart business because don't let people believe in some big idea that's totally impossible. With the quarterback position in particular, you're talking about years of planning in many cases in terms of what you're building around the quarterback, the draft capital you put into a player, the development you've put into a player, the money you've put into a player. The idea that all 32 teams are going to shed their quarterback for anyone besides maybe Patrick Mahomes is just not in line with the reality here. With Lamar Jackson, again, unbelievably dynamic player. He is fun to watch when he's on, and he's won an MVP. To get him, you have to be able organizationally to say, we want to commit over 20% of our salary cap, 2 first-round draft picks for a player who, as good as he is, has suffered back-to-back lower body injuries that have ended his season, taking him out in December and January. And we're going to have to completely overhaul the way we play offense and the personnel to suit his unique skill set. Is somebody going to seriously consider this? I think a bunch of teams are going to seriously consider it. But that's a lot different than saying we're actually going to be able to go and not only give Lamar a contract he will take, which may well take the fully guaranteed contract because that's what he wants, but also one that the Ravens are not going to match. So we're not doing the work for Baltimore, which continues to say their priority is to get Lamar back on a long-term deal. You're also giving up the 2 first-round draft picks. It's a lot. Now, again, is there some team that may do it? It's absolutely possible. And I would anticipate that there are a bunch of teams having those exact conversations. But you better have a plan, you better have the resources, and you better believe that you can do something that nobody has done with a quarterback eating up that much of the salary cap, which is win a Super Bowl, if you're going to go all in this situation for Lamar Jackson.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.